Today on Nac Edition, we'll talk about what's happening on the SFA campus and around Nacogdoches. We have stories about Kids Against Tobacco, public safety, and the Alumni Association hosting a trip for alumni. We'll also take a look into the Hope Food Pantry, the Special Olympics basketball tournament, and seatbelts for pets. Also, stay tuned for the latest in SFA sports. This is Nac Edition. Today.
Hello and welcome to Nac Edition. My name is Latera Bunn and I'll be bringing you all your latest news. With Texas Tobacco-Free Kids Day approaching, the Say What program stopped in Nac for an action summit with students in the Nacogdoches area. I went out to get more on the story.
Many students and volunteers came out this Saturday to support Say What and bringing awareness to being drug-free. Say What was created and designed by young people from across Texas and connects students interested in eliminating tobacco from their schools and communities. The Say What movement is funded by the Texas Department of State Health Services through a contract with the Texas School Safety Center at Texas State University. Each Say What Summit utilizes service learning to train middle school and high school students in effective tobacco prevention activities aimed at reducing the harmful effects of tobacco use in Texas.
Y'all are buddies? Okay, so when we do the cigarette litter cleanup, one of you is gonna grab and bag.
After receiving training in the morning, all students and adult participants take part in a local community action event and make a difference that same day. And as a bonus, every participant receives 3 hours of community service. Say What is a student-led movement that was launched in March 2011, and the focus may be about living tobacco-free, but you also learn how to be an advocate, how to live a healthy lifestyle, and be more environmentally conscious.
Our goal is not only for young people to get the knowledge about tobacco prevention and be able to pass it on to other young people, but we want to be able to give them the skills and also the opportunity to use those skills so that they discover that they have the power to make a difference, the power to activate change in their home, schools, and communities. So we do believe that we're giving young people the opportunity, that we're changing lives, and that we're helping them change other people's lives by helping protect them from the harmful effects of tobacco.
Are you drug-free? Drug-free? Honk for me! Thank you! Thank you!
This has been Latera Bunn for Nac Edition.
Public safety around the SFA campus is taken very seriously. DeTwan Harris has more on the story.
One of the biggest concerns for students and their parents when it's time to set off for college is their safety. In a 2014 study by the U.S. Department of Education, nearly 40,000 violent offenses were reported on college campuses from 2012 to 2014. 38 assaults have taken place at Stephen F. Austin from 2012 to 2014. 23 of them were done to people who lived on campus. Just last year, a female student was assaulted not far from the Health and Physical Education building, just south of the campus while walking back from her dorm. The University Police Department has safety procedures for on-campus students to use for a safety experience. SFA UPD even offer a safety escort for whenever students feel the need for protection.
Safety tips is always, to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of who's around you. If you see someone that looks suspicious, you can always contact the police department. But being aware, using the safety escorts that UPD provides. We also have a bus that goes throughout the campus that they can use as well. Use the buddy system. I know it sounds, like a young thing to do, but it's actually very convenient to have a friend or two other friends with you to make it harder for you to be an easy target.
Amanda Kennedy also shared that knowing what's going on around you can be very beneficial to your safety.
Look around, see who's around you. If you see someone that you think looks suspicious or someone's coming at you quickly, we do have a lot of people that walk, around campus because, they live here, or some people just come up here to walk around. But being aware and looking at people, making eye contact with people, not walking with your head down and earphones in your ear. Walk with confidence and look around, make eye contact with people. It's going to deter a lot that you don't realize it's deterring.
For more information, contact UPD or visit the Department of Public Safety on the SFA website. This has been the Twan Harris reporting.
Alumni Association is offering alumni of all ages a chance to travel. Christopher Cade went out to find out more.
The SFA Alumni Association is hosting Colors of New England, which is a trip for SFA alumni. The trip will feature many different locations that attendees can enjoy. SFAtravel.com has all of the information included in the trip. From dates and locations to travel tips, the site has many different facets that will help attendees have all the details they need. The Alumni Association held its meeting Thursday, February 11th to answer any questions or concerns that alumni had about the trip. After the meeting, Heather Hawkins, the Assistant Director of the Alumni Association, had more to say about the inspiration behind the trip.
We just wanted to find a bond for people when we thought a travel group would be fun. Everybody likes to travel, and so we're starting out in this fall, 2015 or 2016, with the Colors of New England for a first travel group trip.
The trip used to be offered in the 90s, but was discontinued until now.
We have a whole new team with the Alumni Association, so I would, and we're always trying to look for ways to engage the alums, and so I don't really know a whole lot about when they did it a long time ago, but it was probably in the 90s that they did, so it's been that long since it hasn't happened, but we just felt that it was a way to bring people together, a common bond, and everybody likes to travel, so whether you're young or old and single or married or whatever it might be, it was a way to everybody to bond over travel, and we're hoping to go all over the places, and we're starting out in the United States, but next spring, over spring break in 2017, we're going to be going to Costa Rica, and then some other neat places after that, so those will be coming, and so we're hoping to do this 2 to 3, possibly 4 times a year, depending on how well it takes off. So,
with May graduation fast approaching, there may be some new alumni added to the trip. For Nac Edition, I'm Christopher Cade.
Coming up after the break, we'll talk about how SFA students can help feed the Nacogdoches community. Welcome back. Brittany Dorbin informs SFA students on how they can help feed the Nacogdoches community through the Hope Food Pantry.
Millions of families and kids go hungry every day. As of 2012, families that fall below poverty level in Nacogdoches, Texas equals 25% of the population. And the individuals living below poverty level amounts to 9,112 people in Nacogdoches, Texas. Reporting live in Nacogdoches, Texas at Hope Food Bank Pantry, where helping other people eat is the motto. As you can see, many families are waiting in line to receive assistance with food. Hope Food Bank Pantry is committing to stopping hunger in Nacogdoches. They are allowing everyone who lives in Nacogdoches County to come to Hope to see how they can help you. Even Stephen F. Austin students are invited. Hope believes they are a viable asset to Nacogdoches because of the poverty. Jackie Haley, a Hope team leader, believes Nacogdoches families could not survive without Hope Food Bank because of the many tragedies she has encountered with families in need.
Got laid out, and she had no kids, and she was just crying, and she needed some groceries, so we fixed her some groceries, and she was sat between them. But she was just crying, she was happy because she needed the food, and we weren't even open, but we fixed her something to eat.
Hope Food Bank is asking Stephen F. Austin students to help encourage their annual food drive that will be held this year at Stephen F. Austin campus.
The Special Olympics basketball tournament took place this past Saturday. Bianca Berlanga went to find out more.
The Special Olympics basketball tournament happens every year during the spring semester. It takes place in the HPE on the SFA campus, and this year it started around 8 a.m. and lasted till almost 2 p.m. This event keeps growing with more participants playing and more volunteers helping. This year, there were a total of 8 teams and 235 athletes who participated in individual skills, 3-on-3, and 5-on-5 basketball games. In order to be a part of the tournament, all athletes are required to go through an 8-week training period. Some teams even started to train around December, but the main time period is to get about 2 months of training. With a growing number of athletes, there is also more volunteers to help out with awards, scoreboards, preparing lunch, and selling t-shirts. I was able to talk to Anthony Key, the East Texas director for Special Olympics, and asked him what was his favorite part about the Special Olympics.
My favorite part about Special Olympics is just the confidence that I see that being able to participate in sports and win awards, it gives our athletes. Some of them, may not otherwise have the opportunity to have another platform to step out on and interact with people or make friends due to whatever their circumstances are. But the confidence it builds in them and the smiles they receive when they get their awards, that's what makes it all worth it for me.
Anthony also said for anyone wanting to volunteer, they welcome them with open arms, or just find a local area office to get more information. For Nac Edition, I'm Bianca Berlinga.
In America, there are thousands of car crashes each year, and many of them involve pets, specifically dogs. Dulce Flores has information about seatbelts for them and tips to prevent accidents on the road when traveling with your pet.
May love taking out their pets as much as possible, but do they really take the right security measurements to protect their dogs when traveling with them in the car? In 2014, Center for Pet Safety tested seatbelts for dogs, and only one brand passed the test. The rest were deemed insufficient in design materials and overall performance. According to American Humane Society, an estimated 100,000 dogs die from riding in truck beds alone each year. It doesn't include dogs who die from jumping out of car windows or being unsecured in the car during a collision. This is a real-life fact.
Yes, I actually have a family member that lost a dog in a crash. It was a very small crash, but the dog flew forward and hit the dash.
A AAA and Cargo Pet Passenger Survey reports that 3 out of 10 respondents admit to being distracted by their dog while driving. It is highly recommended to use a seatbelt for dogs, not only to decrease chances of distraction by your dog, but to protect their lives. Many pet parents really want to give their dogs a quality life.
This is my baby, I love him, so anything that would protect him would be, good and beneficial.
Therefore, they should learn that although majority of the tested seatbelts for dogs did not pass, there are some quality crash-tested harnesses that can protect them from an accident. Try to avoid the use of long extension tethers and zipline-style products during travel. Also, dogs should be restrained in the backseat of the vehicle with the windows closed. It will also protect them from debris in their eyes.
Nowadays, internet can help us in many ways. Looking up tips on the internet can guide you to the right seatbelt to secure your driving, especially your dog's life. For Nac Edition, this is Dulce Flores.
Coming up after the break, we'll have the latest weather update with Ms. Anya Kroll. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Nac Edition. I'm Miss Leanne Crowell with your weather update. First off, we're going to take a look over here what's happening on the West Coast. We're going to start with Nevada. We have right here in California. They're still having their winter weathers. Down here in Los Angeles, it's about 76 degrees. And up here in Salt Lake City, they're having temperatures at about 38 degrees. Next, we're going to head up north. They're still experiencing some snow that happened over the past couple of weeks. So New York over here is having some snow areas right about there, and they're about 23 degrees. And then if we head over here to Chicago, they're in 43. And also right down here in Nebraska area, they're having temperatures in about 46. So they're still wearing their coats and keeping it pretty cold and chilly down there. Next, we're going to head over to the East Coast. If we step right over here, you can see Washington, where our president is being held. It's about 49 degrees in that area, and it's some warm weather coming. And so they just had some recent snow moving in, and so they're still wearing their coats. Next, we're going to take a look down south. If we head over to Texas, I'll take a look over here. Right here in Oklahoma and in Little Rock, Arkansas, they're having some pretty good temperatures. It's about in the 40s. But if you take a look right down here at Louisiana, they're in about 60 degrees. So it's pretty good in there, and they're still wearing their coats. If we keep looking up, we're going to take a look into Texas. In Amarillo, they're having some temperatures that are pretty good. We're going to look at our local weather. We're looking at Tyler right here. They're in about 49 degrees. And then we're going to look at Longview. It's about 50 degrees right there. And then Nacogdoches, they're still recovering from that rain. So we're looking at about 61 degrees. So now we're going to take a look at our 5-day forecast. For Wednesday, we have today, it was pretty sunny with a little humidity, and the highs in the 50 degrees, and the winds coming out north at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And tonight we're going to have pretty clear skies, and it's going to be on the cold side in the low 30s. For Thursday, tomorrow, we have mostly sunny with seasonal temperatures, and the high in the middle 60s, and winds out at about north at about 10 miles per hour. And then tomorrow night, it'll be mostly clear with the lows in the 30s again. On Friday, we'll have a cool start, give way to a mild afternoon with sunny skies, and the high will be in about the 60 degrees, and winds out east at about 5 to 10 miles per hour with clear skies that night. And then Saturday, if you're looking for a good day outside, it'll be lots of blue skies, very nice, with the highs warming at about 70 degrees, and winds out of south at about 10 miles per hour. And then that night it'll be pretty good. So you'll have a pretty good Saturday night. And Sunday, as we wrap up our weekend, it'll be partly sunny and it'll be warm. So highs in the middle 70s still, and winds out south at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And also Sunday night, as we prepare to go back to work and school, it'll be partly cloudy with lows in the upper 50s. Next, we're going to take a look at some pictures from our locals. This picture right here, it's a picture that came from KTRE, and it's a nice picture of the sun coming up. It really showed how we're recovering from that rain. And we're going to take a look at our next picture. This is the rain that hit on Monday. We had flooding going on from some of the residents, and this is on back of one of our viewers' porch. It's real watery, real flooding, so they really had to clean up after that one. And our last picture. This is a picture on SFA's campus. We're nice clear blue skies, so if you get a chance, go ahead and take a stroll outside and enjoy the weather. Up next, we have our calendar of events. We're going to have Friday, it's going to be a Nacogdoches Film Festival, and that's going to last until Sunday. And then we're having an Oasis Saxophone Quartet at 7:30 Friday in the Cole Concert Hall, so why don't you get out and listen to some good tunes. For Saturday, we have the Farmers Market at 8 a.m. till 12 p.m. And then we're going to have an SFA basketball game at 6 o'clock, and they're playing the Houston Baptist University. For Sunday, we have Evans United Spring Carnival,
And that's going to last for a couple of days, but make sure you get out and see it. And then we have an SFA baseball game at 1 o'clock, and they're playing Sacred Heart University at JC Field. After the break, we're going to get the highlights of SFA sports with Rob Shelton.
Baseball kicked off against UT Arlington last Friday at the Clay Gold Classic Tournament in Arlington, Texas. The Jacks started the season off right with a dominating performance, taking down the Mavericks 12-1. Senior lefty Jared Green started the game strong, allowing only 3 hits and 1 run during his 5 innings of work. The next day of the tournament, the Jacks fell to Oklahoma State 8-2, but bounced back against the Cowboys on Sunday with a 5-4 win. That same day, the Jacks took on UT Arlington once more, and this time fell 13-7. Tuesday night, the Jacks took on Texas A&M in College Station. The Aggies are ranked number 4 in the nation, and the Jacks couldn't quite handle them. Playing that type of competition will pay off for the Jacks in the long run. The final score of the game was 21-1. The Lumberjacks' first home game is the 26th against Sacred Heart at 6:30. Come out to JC Field and show your support. Let's now turn our attention to Lady Jacks softball. The Lady Jacks played in their second tournament of the season, the Citrus Classic in Orlando, Florida. It was a disappointing tourney for the team as they dropped all 5 games they played in during the tournament, making their overall record 3-7 this season. The upside of the weekend was that the Lady Jacks took on some of the top teams in the country, including number 1 Florida, and fought hard in those games. The Lady Jacks' home opener has been postponed till March 1st, so the team is turning their attention towards the Ole Miss Classic this weekend. They will take UTSA in the first game. Good luck, ladies. Let's talk a little track. Demi Payne, a pole vaulter at SFA, competed in the Melrose Games in New York City this past weekend. The Melrose Games is the longest-running indoor track and field competition and is regarded as the most prestigious in the country. Payne finished second with a jump of 4.9 meters. Congratulations to her. The next event for the entire men and women's teams will be the NCAA Indoor Championships held in Birmingham, Alabama. Good luck to the team. Finally, we turn our attention to the Lumberjack basketball. The Jacks were on the road this weekend, traveling to Nicholls State and Lamar. The Lumberjacks took the longest active winning streak in the country with them, and they did not give that up. The first game against Nicholls State marked the 107th win for Thomas Walkup and Trey Pickney, tying them with Jacob Parker for the winningest players in Lumberjack history. Thomas Walkup ended the game with 10 points, 10 rebounds. Clyde Jaffard finished with 19 points. The Lumberjacks won the game 88-53. When the Jacks traveled to Lamar Monday to take on the upstart Cardinals, Pickney and Walkup removed Parker from his throne as winningest player in Jacks history after a convincing win over the Cardinals, winning 79-58. Walkup led the team with 18 points and 10 rebounds, marking yet another double-double for the All-American. Clyde Jaffard added 14 points, and Demetrius Floyd and TJ Holyfield each scored 10. With just 4 games left in the regular season, the Jacks will look to remain undefeated in conference prior to tournament play. The Lumberjacks' last home game will be this Saturday at 6 p.m. at William R. Johnson Coliseum. This will mark the last home game for all the seniors on the team, including Thomas Walkup. So come out and support the Lumberjacks. Well, that's all I have for you today. Back to you, Latera.
Thanks, Rob. This month we celebrate Black History Month, and on this day in 1864, Rebecca Lee Crumpler became the first Black woman to receive an MD degree. She graduated from England Female Medical College. Rebecca Lee Crumpler was born in 1833, and she worked from 1852 to 1860 as a nurse in Massachusetts. Another great moment in Black history happened recently when Virginia McLaurin waited all her life to see an African American in the White House. So when she finally got a chance to meet President Obama, the 106-year-old woman couldn't contain her excitement. She squealed with delight, she waved her cane in the air, and she danced, busting moves that made her the newest internet darling.
We're so happy to have you here. And look at those nails.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time for Nac Edition. I'm Latera Bunn. Have a great day.